Hey everyone, and welcome to your May 2022 readings. I decided to change up the scenery since it's just super beautiful out, and also speaking of change, I changed up the format this month. I might change it back, but this month we are focusing on all love readings across all signs. So that's what we're focused on. Remember that this is a collective reading for your sun, moon, or rising sign, right? So if this particular one doesn't resonate, I would check out your other two signs. Speaking of which, if you're wondering, I don't know, I follow tropical, I follow sidereal, which one, I would say just whichever you resonate with the most. So if you resonate more with sidereal and those associations, then follow the sun, moon, rising that's in that system, right? Or vice versa. So the timestamps will be down below as well. There are links also for how you can book a one-to-one reading with me. Of course, if we're doing collective reading, we can't hit the mark for every single like Aries or Aquarius all the way down, all the way through, right? So if you want something specific that is specific to your situation, I would recommend booking a reading with me personally. The links for that are down below. Also for how to get 20% off and 50% off of a one-to-one 90-minute reading with me. Last thing I'll say, oh yes, cards and cocktails. We didn't do it for the month of April. I know, I just got so busy. So we are doing it, cards and cocktails, hangout. It's a live hangout on Instagram that I do on Instagram. I might choose to do on YouTube. I still haven't gotten around to deciding whether I want to do it here or not because I have more people that follow me over there versus here. This is brand new, so we'll see. But if you want to stay up on that, follow me over on Instagram. I'm probably most likely going to be doing it either the first weekend of this month, which I know Mother's Day is there, so I might not do it then. I might do it when the moon is in Sag later in the month, which I think is around the 26th, 5th or 6th or 7th, something like that. So again, if you want to stay up on that, follow me over on Instagram. Last thing I'll say is that there are new monthly subscriptions that you can check out over on Patreon, and that's in the description as well, for how you can get ongoing divinatory guidance if you are going through a really stressful period, a transition period, with work, with life, with love, with anything, and you're wanting some like ongoing guidance. There are two options that I would recommend, right? One of them is a monthly subscription for weekly 30-minute readings, right? So it's like tapping in every single week on like what's up, right? And that's either live or recorded. And then the other is for a monthly reading with me for 90-minute reading, and that's either live or recorded. I only have a few spots for the lives, especially just because I need to make sure that I can deliver them. So if you want to get something like that done, feel free to hit me up. Without further ado, please continue on to your readings. Let me know how you like them. If you want me to stay focused on love, maybe we'll just keep that rolling for a little while too. I don't know. I'm still playing around with this channel, so I will talk to you guys next month. Thanks. Bye. Hi Virgo, and welcome to your May 2022 reading. So we are doing a different format this month, and if you skipped ahead through the timestamps and you missed the beginning part, don't worry, I was very succinct this time around, working on that. But I talked about the change up in the month, in the format this month. So feel free to weigh in and let me know what you guys think. And without further ado, let's get into it. So what is going on for my Virgos this month, for the month of May? We are doing love readings this month. That's what we're looking at. So, all right. First row is you. Okay. And keep in mind one person, okay, you guys? One person that you want to be looking into, that you are top of mind, top of heart with, that has a lot of energy, attention of yours, right? So if you're in multiple relationships or if you're dating, you want to make sure that you're only thinking of one person. Got it? One person. Can't do this for multiple people. Doesn't work that way. And remember, this is a collective reading for Sun, Moon, or Rising Virgos, right? So here's your person. Okay. And also, something else that we're doing as part of this is we're going to take a look at what's going on with your internal landscape, things that are happening for you on the lower conscious levels, and like what's happening for you in your emotional landscape, just what's going on in your world internally, and your external world, your outer world, right? Because these affect every area of our life. What's happening for us internally and what's happening for us externally, of course, affect our world. Okay. Super interesting. Okay. So, as usual, we're going to get into this one at a time. We'll start over here with what's happening internally and externally for you so that we can get a sense of what might be coloring, like what lenses might be coloring your experience in the realms of love, dating, all of that, right? So when we take a look here, we see that like you've got some burdens going on internally. In your internal world, it's almost as though like what's going on behind the scenes, that it's not what people actually see or experience from you, is that you've taken quite a lot on. Maybe you might have bitten off more than you could chew. That perhaps might be the case. Either way, you're carrying quite a lot of weight. So you might be doing a lot of different things, or handling a lot of different projects, or have a lot of different things going on in all these other areas of your life. And internally, even if externally you're handling it well, internally it's feeling like it's weighty, like it's even if it's things that you love or enjoy, it's just that you've taken quite a lot on, right? That's a lot to carry. So it doesn't have to be that all of this is bad stuff or anything like that. It's just that what you have chosen to take on is a lot, right? And then we have your external world, and your external world is the Seven of Cups, right? And so we come into your external world with looking at like, it's just, I mean, even if you look at the imagery here, right? Just looking at all of the different dreams, all of the different possibilities, and not really having complete clarity about the direction that things are going. So for instance, when it comes to your life path or what you're choosing, there's possibly you're moving towards getting clarity about what it is that you want, but currently it's like there are so many different ones to choose from that I'm not seeing that there is a really clear decision that's being made about certain aspects of like what's important to you in your life. I'm not talking about like, should I get takeout tonight or not? This is more about like the bigger decisions that you're making for your life path. And so and there's the danger of being, in the world of illusion when it comes to this, right? So wanting to be really careful that that's not the case, but that's just what's going on. So this is what's happening internally, and what's happening externally in your world is like you're going through the process of clarifying, of making more tangible the ideas, the dreams, the daydreams, the visions that you have for your life in different areas of your life. And so they're not quite fully solid and made manifest yet. It's more about like clarifying, solidifying, and bringing into the world of the material, right? Because you can see it's in the world of the ethers right now. This is all, you look at the cloud, that's all like idea based, that's out there, but you feel very strongly about all these. We're looking at cups, right? This is all something that you feel very strongly about. So that's what we're seeing there. Now, top row is you, bottom row is your person, right? So it's interesting because the way that we come into this, it looks like there is kind of like, it could be a kind of sparring, like a conflicting of different desires. Like you and the person that you're considering are having desires that possibly might kind of conflict. Now, it doesn't mean everything's doomed. It just could mean that for where you are at this point in your lives, remember when we're looking at tarot, it's kind of like a snapshot of like a chessboard, and pieces are in play on both sides of the board. And so where everything is, it's like the possibilities that exist at that moment from the way that the energies are, that's what we're looking at. And we're looking at the next 30 days, right? So when or 31 days, sorry, right? So that's what we're looking at, is what is happening over the course of this month. So there might be some like conflicting desires, and that could be anything from really major desires of overall like what do you want, to all the way to how much time do we spend together? How do we see each other? And how much time or space do we make in each other's worlds? And what's ideal for you and what's ideal for me? And how do I feel about that? How do you feel about that? And there might be some conflicting desires to kind of work through and suss out, right? This also, it's like, it's very much the sparring card to me. Like, this is how it reminds me of when you're sparring. And so just kind of like this energetic sparring. It could be jockeying for personal power in the situation. I'm not saying you're a game player. I'm saying that might fit for some people out there. So I just want to put that out there, is that might fit, is like you might be trying to kind of get the upper hand, or to be, you know, the one that has more of the energetic power in a particular situation. And so that could be it. But this is also something that just could be about sparring in general. Like, sparring can sometimes be exciting, fun, elevating, kind of like when you are like you find somebody who is really great at witty banter and being humorous, right? It's a lot of fun. Now, I'm not saying that that's what this is. I am saying, however, that it looks like there's probably some conflicting desires, and there might be some verbal sparring or energetic sparring, things that are not maybe happening in the interactions that are obvious, but more so happening in the background energetically, right? So, but we come through that, and it feels like that's kind of blocking things from really shooting and moving forward. Like, there are certain desires, certain aspects that are occurring that are really not allowing the arrows to shoot forward. There's almost like like if you put these together, right, it almost looks like they're being blocked by these in a way, essentially. And so we can kind of look at it that way. It's like, it's not really getting the green light, the go ahead. And that could be more internal for why that's occurring for you, right? So so I would say, you know, getting clarity on where you guys are at, what page are you guys on. Now, I'm reading this for, obviously, for the collective, for Sun, Moon, or Rising Virgos, but also keeping in mind that I'm reading for if you are single and dating, or if you're in a relationship, right? So take this and apply it to your particular situation. Remember, keep in mind one person. I feel like I have to repeat that a lot, you know. And the thing to actually remember is what you truly want. What is your desired experience for relationships? What is it that you ultimately want? And being able to get the kind of clarity that you need, and be able to hold your ground with the things that are actually really important to you. You know, there might be some things that you're holding your ground with that are really not necessarily the most important pieces, when ultimately what you really want, like what your ideal version of the good life with a relationship is, right? So in the picture we see, like, this was of course created a very long time ago, so the ideal was like kids, a family, a house, land, all these things, right? So but what's your ideal of that? What does that look like and feel like to you? Is it that you guys are able to be digital nomads and travel around together? Are you doing van life together? Are you living in a penthouse? Are you out in, you know, the middle of nature in your own hand-built cottage, right? Like, what is it, and what aspects of the relationship in terms of how you want to feel? Remember, we're looking at cups, right? Like, how you want to feel in this experience. Does this relationship feel like it's, or this potential relationship, if it's not a relationship already, how does it match up to where you're wanting to go with things? You know, especially if you're in a long-term relationship, the idea of what we want can shift and change. We change as people, and we forget that people don't stay the same. So and neither do we. So is it possible that the way that you envision this is something that they can be a part of, and that you really truly see the probability of that being like they can actually come into that with you? Or are you in love with the potential, or infatuated with the potential, right? Now we're looking at your particular person. I'm seeing that they're just kind of like, maybe they're an earth sign, but they're definitely like more pragmatic, definitely like slow and steady wins the race, right? So when we're looking at the Knight of Pentacles, you even look like this is a very still kind of card. Like, he's contemplating where the next steps are. He's strategizing about where he's going to go onto the field. He's just not a knight that's like rushing in, which typically we see with the knights, right? He's not just rushing in and doing this. He's being more steady about what the solutions are, what are the strategies, how he's going to like actually move forward. And so there is this, like, this is the energy that your person is in, right? again, we're not talking about masculine or feminine, male, female, or other identities, right? Like what we're talking about here is the energy, right? So that's the energy of the person that you're thinking of, that you're involved with, is like they're being more steady about how they choose, like which steps are they going to take forward, which path are they going to move forward, right? So more measured steps, not quite rushing in, right? And like I kind of get the sense that they're not really like, here's one of the things that I don't see talked about often enough, at least from who I'm exposed to. Maybe other people do. I don't hear about it very often. But when it comes to the Nine of Cups in a challenge position, what we're looking at here is just like, it gives me the impression that this person doesn't really remember how to just enjoy life and have fun, how to just like let go. Sometimes this can indicate being involved in like spiritual pursuits so much that they've like kind of eschewed all of the material world or like gregarious kind of being a part of the world and like engaging in like ceremony and happiness and like party, or it doesn't mean partying, right? I just mean like celebratory experiences, being gregarious, having social life, having all these things, right? Or whatever it is, right? They seem to have, and it could be spiritual pursuits or it could not be spiritual pursuits, like, because it can be like, I'm going to give up the material world for the world of the spiritual and like pursue that path. And sometimes that path can take somebody so far into kind of like monkhood, right, that they forget how to just enjoy the things that are beautifully hedonistic about our world, right? Not out of control hedonism, but just like not really being able to enjoy that. And so that's kind of that's the feeling I'm getting here. Sometimes this can be hedonism out of control, but I'm not seeing this, right? This is not indicating out of control, right? So I'm seeing like when it comes to your guys' connection, it's almost like this is part of the thing. It's like, do they know how to just release themselves into passion with you to just have a good time? Like, are they able to do that? Right? And like we come into like where they're at, which is just like on the precipice of many different possibilities, right? They are like, these are very contemplative feeling cards in this particular situation here, right? I'm thinking about the possibilities that exist, that span before me. I have the world at my fingertips. Where do I want to go? How do I want my relationships to be? Do I want this relationship? Is this the kind that I want? Is this not? Do I want to go somewhere else? Do I want to travel perhaps and set my roots down somewhere else instead and explore something there? Do I want to have a relationship? Do I not? Right? Like they're in this space of like just considering. And so I get the sense that there's probably like that this is kind of causing a little bit of questioning, maybe that's happening, like for both sides, right? Because if somebody is not really like stepping into and like moving forward massively, with going forward in dating or a relationship or something like that, and kind of mapping out their next steps and strategizing what they're going to do next, I'm gathering that there isn't a ton of passion that's actually happening here. I'm not feeling the zhuzh, I'm not feeling like the fire, right? So and that's why I think this is about also remembering like, what is it that you really want to feel? And if that is what you want, if that vibe is your vibe, if that is your thing and that's what you're going for, fantastic. It's just that it needs to be somehow connected. And so there needs to be, I think, an understanding of how like connection, maybe bridging or having a conversation with each other about like how those two things fit together, the ideas and the possibilities with the ones that you envision, that you already have a feeling for, right? So I'm actually curious. I would like to take a look at what is it in terms of what they're contemplating, like what are the possibilities that are on the horizon right there, right? How much of that has to do with your connection together. So I'm getting like, let's do 3 here. And I want to see actually like what are these kind of conflicting desires that are coming up on your end, like what's happening there. Let's get some clarity with that. I'm feeling here, and let's see. I'm still feeling like I want some clarity on... I'm curious about what's actually blocking here. That's what I want to know. I want to know what is actually blocking here. And what is it about, like, that they're not stepping into just enjoying life? What is that about? What is that about? So we're going to check that out. So we'll be taking a look at all of this in the extended version over on Patreon, which the links for that are down below. And then also at the same time, we are going to continue with our tradition of looking at the goddess and god cards that are showing up. So remember, these are either, if you believe, if deities are a part of your belief structure, these are the homies that have your back that are going to be helping you out for the month of May. And if not, choose to look at them maybe more so as archetypes that you can look to emulate their strengths and gifts as guidance for how you can navigate what's coming up in the month of May for you. So I'm going to move these over here. Okay. We're also going to hear a message that comes directly from your ancestors and your guides. So more and more, this deck is really what I pull out for that. So what is a direct message? You know, we want to know what's the advice for navigating through. And remember that the oracle cards that we're pulling here, this is not just about your love life. This is going to affect your entire life, every area. So business, friendships, community, money, love, family, your personal happiness, your purpose path, what's happening for you, right? And we're going to look at what is the blind spot that actually is showing up that's tripping you up, right? The shadow work, right? The things that we disown about ourselves that tend to be the things that we don't want to look at. And then we're going to take a look at one rune as well, because I feel like they're really great for guidance. And I feel like they're a very strong, like a bolstering kind of energy most of the time. So we're going to take a look at those. So these are all going to be over in the Patreon extended version. We'll take a little bit of a deeper look into the relationship aspects that we pulled cards for. And I feel like we're going to pull more cards than that, because I just want to start off with those questions and see where we go from there, which, knowing me, we're probably going to pull more cards. So, and then we'll take a look at all of these cards. So again, thank you for being here this month. Let me know, shoot me a DM or drop a message below if this resonated with you, or if you like the change up to being a love reading. I might just keep switching up the format. It's really just because I like to keep things fresh, and I end up changing things every so often just because I need the refresher. So let me know what you guys think, and I hope you guys have a great month. See you next month. Bye, Virgo.